Hello, and welcome back to Beyond Default. I'm Teresa. After years of raising a family, working to earn a living, working for myself, I eventually retired to the tropics. I found myself asking a simple but important question. Was I truly living by choice, or have I been living on autopilot all of these years? That question became the inspiration for this channel. Here at Beyond Default, we explore how to move beyond unconscious habits and begin creating a life with greater awareness, purpose, and intention. In today's video, we're going to look at what I believe are the two conditions of living. Living by default or living by intentional design. So, if you can, I'm going to ask you to stop what you are doing right now and ask yourself, how did I land here? Not just where you live or what you do each day, but how your life became the life you're living now. Most people never ask that question of themselves. They simply wake up, follow routines, react or respond to circumstances, and move from one day to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. Years pass, then decades pass, and one day they wonder, where has all the time gone? The truth is, there are two conditions under which we all can live. One is by default, the other is by intentional design. Whether we realize it or not, every one of us is living in one of these conditions. Living by default happens when our choices are directed by habits, conditioning, fears, old beliefs, or unconscious patterns. We may think we're choosing our lives, but often we're simply repeating it and repeating it. The great psychologist Carl Jung expressed it this way. The psychology rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. In other words, what remains hidden within us eventually appears in our lives as circumstances, challenges, and repeated experiences. Jung later expressed the same principle in a way that is easier to understand. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will just call it fate. Think about that for a moment. How many of our decisions are truly conscious? How many of our fears are inherited from our families, from our teachers, from our societies? How many of our limitations are accepted without question? How many of our daily routines are simply habits that have been repeated for years? When we live unconsciously, life appears to just happen to us. Circumstances seem random. Problems seem unfair. We become passengers instead of pilots. But there is another condition of living. Living by intentional design. Living by intentional design begins with awareness, as I have spoken of this before in earlier videos. It begins the moment we stop and examine our thoughts, our beliefs, our assumptions, and our patterns. It begins when we start asking ourselves, Why do I think this way? Why do I make these choices? Why do I continue to repeat experiences that no longer serve me? Awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. More than 2,500 years ago, the Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think consciously or unconsciously, your life begins to reflect exactly that. Whether we view this spiritually, psychologically, or practically, the message remains powerful. The quality of our inner world shapes the quality of our outer experiences. The thoughts we repeatedly think become beliefs. The beliefs become actions. Actions become habits, and our habits become our lives. This doesn't mean we control everything that happens to us, because life will always bring challenges. But it does mean we can choose how consciously we respond or react. Living by intentional design is not about perfection. No, it's about participation. It's about becoming aware enough to stop living on autopilot. It's about recognizing that every day presents a new opportunity. An opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, to act differently, and ultimately to become a different person. Because I am not the same person that I was 20 years ago, and neither are you. In the recent past, I really didn't understand how much of my life was operating on default settings. Like many people, I became comfortable. I followed routines. I stopped questioning where I was headed. And that's one of the reasons I created Beyond Default. Not because I have all the answers, but because I believe it's never too late to wake up. Never too late to become conscious. And never too late to begin creating a life with more purpose, meaning, and intention. The question is not whether you're creating your life, because you are creating your life. The question is, are you creating it consciously, or are you creating it by default? I'll let that sink in for a little while, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me here at Beyond Default. Leave a comment and let me know, can you identify one area of your life that may be running on autopilot? So remember, let's all live aware and choose intentionally. Bye-bye for now.